everyone. It is 9:25. Welcome back to CW Iowa Live. Lou here. And now, just telling our good friend Tim Cloyd, this is like old home week this hour. We had Michael Leo from Strudel House in here, Brad Zahn. And now, Tim Cloyd here, balloon pilot,
yes,
who really has an awesome project that he has been doing for, hard to believe, 5 years now.
That it is.
Explain what's going on and a really neat event that you put on every year.
I call this the Extreme Flight to Find a Cure. It's a high-altitude, long-distance balloon flight to raise money for cancer research. I'll go to altitudes possibly as high as 17,000 feet, and distances have been anywhere from 105 to 413 miles.
Wow. Now, this started, like we mentioned, 5 years ago. What all brought this up? What was the first thing that spurred this type of involvement?
Well, I did long flights, but yet I wanted to do it for a cause. And of course, cancer touches all of us. And I had a crew member that did die of cancer, and I have another crew member currently, she's dealing with cancer as well. But we've all been affected, and I want to do it for a reason, and cancer is that.
All right, and what was the first flight that you did? Where was that from?
That was from the Des Moines, Iowa, out east of Des Moines, Polk County.
Mm-hmm.
And I flew into about 170 miles. But my launch site can be anywhere from Missouri. I've launched out of Missouri up to South Dakota and Nebraska and Iowa.
There you go. So let's walk through the steps here now, because the flight is going to be coming up now. Do you consider this the 2017 flight then?
Well, 16, 17, because it's now, we're in 16 December, all the way through the end of March in that flight window. So I just call it the 5th annual.
Okay, the 5th annual. So
yes.
What makes the flight window open up? Where you're going to take off?
Winter time.
It has to be. Why is it winter time?
The colder it is, the less fuel I need to lift, and there's a selfie, but the less fuel I need to lift, and the longer I can stay in the air. And
how long? Let's say, how much does it cost for you to take off and perform a flight like this?
Well, it could be up to almost $1,000 because by the time you have the fuel, the chase vehicles, staying overnight sometimes, because I've been on long flights where 6 hours, 413 miles to Indiana from Iowa.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so we had we had to stay overnight to come back.
What determines how long you stay up? Is it the jet stream or
the fuel?
The fuel.
Yes.
The fuel consumption.
Fuel consumption.
Okay.
How much fuel I have determines how long I stay in the air. Of course, the colder. This past winter would have been awesome at 12 below.
Right. Now, would you have taken off if the conditions were right, wind-wise and things like that? I'm sure that's all a factor.
That is a factor.
If you were to take off, say, yesterday when it was 12 degrees below zero,
I would have.
Would you have taken off?
Oh yes, I would have. I've taken off in -6 below before.
Where was that one at?
We were up in the Baxter Observatory, Ashton Observatory up near Baxter, so central Iowa.
And so just a little bit of fuel to get you up and aloft, and
yes.
then it just takes you away.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
I hit winds of 83 that flight.
Now, you said you're doing this to help find a cure for cancer, which,
yes.
again, is an awesome reason to do this in the first place. But if people want to get involved with this and people want to help you reach your goals, how can they do so?
They can go to my website, as you see there, techvisions.org. And on the Extreme Flight page is where people can honor somebody. They can honor somebody that has dealt with cancer through what I call lifting up a loved one. You can put a name in for at least minimum of $10 per name. I will fly that name of that person on board. And you can designate where the money should go to as well, whatever cancer organization you would like. Also, I do look for sponsorship. Anybody can sponsor. It's also on that website as well.
Okay, and so how much have you raised in the past four times you've done this?
About $28,000 in 4 years.
That's quite a chunk of change.
Yeah,
that's very impressive.
Well, it's thanks to the donors and sponsors in the past. I mean, it's all for them. They've done it.
Now, what kind of balloon do you have? Just curious as to what type of vessel you'll be using.
The same type I fly, like we all know, in Indianola. The same type I fly down there, regular hot air balloon, and. It has a cross on it as well.
Yeah, and how long have you been a pilot?
10 years now.
It just has to be in one of the most, again, no pun intended, uplifting experiences
yes.
when you do something like this.
That it is. What's interesting about this flight too is the Hormel Institute for Cancer Research they're partnering with this flight, and they are out of Austin, Minnesota. They have been around for over 70 years. They are on the cutting edge of cancer research. They use world-class scientists with state-of-the-art technology, and they're well known around the world. And one thing they developed is omega-3 which we all use. In our daily-
Exactly. Yeah, everybody's familiar with that.
Yes, and they developed that, but they are on the cutting edge of cancer research.
And it's every little bit that contributes to their cause and their ability to find things like
Yes.
omega-3.
So if you're not familiar, if you don't have a cancer organization you would like to donate, I would encourage the money will go toward the Hormel Institute.
Okay, and again, as little as $10.
Yes.
You're talking about.
Yes.
And the easiest way for people to get more information about your flight would be what?
techvisions.org, which has been online. Another thing is I have an offer for anyone, a donor for more than $100 will receive a balloon ride for 2 people. So if you
Say that again, because
Okay.
first of all, because we've done balloon rides in the
Yes.
past. We know how much balloon rides cost. But you're saying if someone makes a donation for $100 going to the cause,
I should say the highest bidder, the highest donor above $100 will receive a balloon ride for 2 people. Understand that balloon ride will take place in central Iowa area, but
That is
yeah,
good.
the highest donor above $100 will receive a balloon
that
ride
balloon
for 2.
ride. There it is. Again, more information, just go to the website that we listed on here. So now, what are you looking ideally for a flight window? You mentioned the flight windows earlier in our conversation. What is your perfect flight window?
Perfect flight window is winds. This past weekend, the winds were taking me up towards Chicago and Milwaukee. And then the problem with that is, beyond that is Lake Michigan. That's kind of a problem there.
Yeah, you don't want to run out of fuel halfway across that. That wouldn't be a good thing.
So I look at the direction. I usually like to fly where I could fly south of the Chicagoland area, southeast to the east, generally. So I look for those kind of good winds.
And how steadily of a wind gust are you looking for?
Oh, I'd like to see 50 and above.
50 and above when you
at altitude. Yes.
When you get up.
Yes.
Yeah. What about on the ground?
Ground, I like to have a nice, safe, under 10 miles an hour for launch, like any balloon flight. And this is unlike any balloon flight. Of course, I still have the same safety parameters like any flight I do for landings, takeoffs and landings. They have to be slow enough speeds, it's safe.
Right.
But good winds aloft as well.
And
also people can track it live.
How do they do that?
I have on my website, it's Track Tim's Flight. You can scroll down.
And we've done this. So we've done this on the air, and you folks have followed along as we showed you on the screen as to where you were exactly during the flights.
Yes, and so you track it live in real time. You can the public can be a part of this way and follow that name that they put on board.
Yeah, this is something that I really need to do at work too. So if you're at work and you make a donation, you can maybe your company can make a donation to Tim's Flight too, and then go online when you're at work, saying, okay, where's the balloon at right now, and you can follow it along as it makes its trek. Do you have any idea, ballpark, as to when you would like to make your flight or not?
Well, the flight's history has been January and February. I can say that much.
All right.
So that will probably be the best. It's coldest.
That's perfect. Wonderful. Well, good luck and congratulations on 5 years, man.
Yes.
This is awesome that you're doing this.
Thank you for having me today.
Wonderful. And again, if you want more information, Tech Visions, TEC Visions, for more information there and make a donation. And again, for the highest donation over the $100 mark, again, the highest donation of all those people that donate more than $100, that person and a guest will get a balloon ride. And Tim will be your pilot. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. It is 9:34 right now, and we will be right back. You are watching CW Iowa Live in West Des Moines.